Welcome back, friends. I'm Jigar Abani, and in this week, we are dealing with writing skills. We have already discussed two topics. First, writing a report, particularly an event report, and writing a memorandum or a memo. In this session, we'll talk about writing minutes of the meeting. We often attend meetings at our institute, and sometimes we are also asked to prepare minutes of the meeting. So it is pertinent for us to understand what do we mean by minutes of the meeting and how we can write an effective and appropriate minutes of the meeting. So in this session, we'll first of all talk about the definition. We'll try to define what do we mean by minutes of the meeting. We'll then talk about steps involved with minutes of meeting. We'll also look at formats of minute, followed by some useful language expressions. You know that we discussed useful language expressions even for report writing and memo writing. We'll also discuss some points to remember. So this is the session plan, and we'll start with the definition. The minutes of a meeting refers to a summary or record of what is said or decided at a formal meeting. Now we know that when there is a meeting, a lot of things are decided at the meeting. A lot of decisions are taken at the meeting. So everything that is decided, everything that is discussed has to be recorded, has to be documented. And minutes of the meeting does the same. So it is like a summary or a record of what is said or decided at a formal meeting. If we take a look at some steps involved with minutes of the meeting, then the first step is pre-planning. If you know, or if you are assigned the task of writing minutes of the meeting, you have to do certain pre-planning. Now, what you have to do in pre-planning, that is what we are going to discuss in detail in a while. Then, note taking. While you are at the meeting, at that time, you have to take notes. Now, this is very important because on the basis of the notes that you have taken at the meeting, you will then write or draft minutes of the meeting. Then writing or transcribing minutes. So while writing or transcribing minutes, what you have to do, that is what also we are going to discuss. Then distributing or sharing the minutes. After you write or draft the minutes, you have to share it, distribute it with your colleagues, with your reporting authority, or with the people at your institute. Then filing minutes for future reference. You have to file it, document it properly for future reference. Now let's discuss what is included or what do we have to do in pre-planning. First thing, know the agenda of the meeting and get a copy of the same. Every meeting has agenda. Every meeting has some purpose, some objective, some tasks to be done, or some topics to be discussed. So you should get hold of the agenda prior to the meeting, well in advance, so that you are in a better position to write or draft minutes of the meeting later on. So once you have the agenda, once you know the purpose, the objective, you can actually include it in the format of the meeting in advance. So that after the meeting, all you have to do is you have to fill in the details in the format that you have already prepared. Get hold of the names of all the meeting attendees, including guests or speakers. This is also very important, that you need to know all the names of people who are attending the meeting, including guests or speakers. And if possible, you should also include these names in the format in advance. So if you already have the names with you in the format, then all you have to do is you have to check off their names as they enter the meeting. And you can mark their attendance, you can mark their presence very easily. Keep the format of the minutes ready. Now there are many types of formats. There's no fixed format. Okay, it depends on your institute. It depends on your organization. So whatever the format, whatever the outline used by your institution, you should keep it ready in advance so that you don't have to rush later on. Now, very important step, note taking. While you are at the meeting, what you are expected to do. Create an outline based on the agenda. So before you enter the meeting, you should have this outline ready with you based on the agenda. Check off attendees as they enter. So as I told you that if you have the names of attendees with you in advance, you can enter the names in the format, and when they enter the meeting, you have to check off their names so that you can mark their presence. Take notes of important decisions or points. If you are assigned the task of writing minutes of the meeting, you should always go to a meeting with a diary. And you should inculcate the habit of note taking. You should take notes of every important decisions or every important points that are discussed at the meeting, so that later on you can draft a proper or an appropriate minutes of the meeting. Now, I'm not saying that you should take note of decisions or points word to word. Okay, you can take note of decisions or points as per your choice, and you have to do it rapidly, right? Remember, it's not taking. It's not taking. I'm not talking about note making. There are two words, note taking and note making. Note taking refers to taking note while hearing something or while reading something, while note making refers to strengthen your notes which you have taken at the time of hearing or reading. So you have to take notes while attending the meeting. Later on, you can make notes while writing the or drafting the minutes of the meeting. So please understand this difference and act accordingly. Ask for clarification if needed. So if certain points are discussed or certain decisions are taken and you think that you need more clarification on certain points, then you may ask for it, right? So that you would be in a better position to write minutes later on. Record it if possible, audio recording. If you are allowed to do it, it is better to audio record the meeting so that you can refer to that audio recording and you can draft your minutes of the meeting. If you are not allowed to do it, please don't do it. Writing or transcribing the minutes. Try to write the minutes as soon as the meeting gets over. You should draft the minutes as soon as the meeting gets over, because the points, the decisions, the ideas discussed at the meeting are still fresh in your mind. And if you don't write it as soon as the meeting gets over, then what happens is you tend to forget certain things. So it would be better that you draft the minutes as soon as the meeting gets over, so that you don't forget or you don't miss out on important points. Then review your outline or format and edit it if needed. The outline or the format that you have prepared in advance, you have to review it. And in case you think that you have to edit it, you have to make some changes to your format or outline, you are allowed to do that. You should do that. Enter all necessary details as per the outline or format. So if you have the outline or format ready with you in advance, then all you have to do while writing the minutes of the meeting is you have to enter the necessary details as per the outline or format. If you do it successfully, your minutes is ready. Proofread it. Now we discussed this even while talking about memo writing. I told you that you should inculcate this habit of proofreading or reviewing to make sure that there are no common errors in your document. For example, grammatical errors or punctuation errors or spelling errors. We tend to make these errors, and most of the time we make these errors unknowingly. We don't know that we are making errors. So in this case, it is always better to proofread it or to review it before you circulate it or before you submit it to your authority. Distributing and filing the minutes. Before sharing the minutes, make sure that it is approved by the competent authority. So once you are done with the writing or drafting the minutes, you should send it to or you should share it with your authority, reporting authority or any other competent authority. And once you get the approval, once it is approved by the authority, then you can share it with your colleagues or with other people. In case your authority wants to make some changes in the minutes, and if he or she tells you to do it, you should do it and then share it. But you should not share it without the approval of the competent authority. Sharing through email or Drive. You can share it through email or a Google Drive. That is up to you. You can store it. If we talk about storing it, you can store it online using Google Drive or Google Docs. You know that Google Drive and Google Docs gives you this facility to store the documents. So you can use it and you can store your minutes. Then storing it online storing it on your external hard drive or flash or thumb drive. Okay, so you can actually save it on your hard drive or flash or thumb drive. Now this flash or thumb drive is nothing but a pen drive. Okay, in India we call it a pen drive. The actual word is flash or thumb drive. Take a printout and file it. Storing it online, saving it on your hard drive or on your flash drive or thumb drive is okay. But at the same time, you should also take a printout and file it. It is always better to have a hard copy along with the soft copy. So in case the technology doesn't support you at times, you can always go back to your hard copy and you can refer to your minutes anytime you want. So it is a wise step to do, a wise step to take, that you have to take a printout and file it. Let's talk about the formats of the minutes. Now there are different formats. There is no fixed format. So if you look at this format, for example, format number 1, you can see a few things on your screen. The purpose of meeting, chair, name of the chair who is chairing the meeting, attendance, the people attending the meeting, then agenda, agenda 1, agenda 2, agenda 3, agenda 4, and as many number of agenda as you have. For each agenda, you have to mention certain things. Background, discussion which took place at the meeting on that agenda, conclusion, resolution or recommendation or decisions taken related to that agenda at the meeting, that also you have to mention, and action or responsible person. For example, if an X person is assigned some task related to agenda 1, then you have to mention it here, that this task or this responsibility was assigned to Mr. X. Similarly, for agenda 2 as well, you have to make sure that you include these things. And agenda 3, agenda 4 also follows the same pattern. And then at the end, you can end your minutes with the closing time of the meeting. This is format number 1. Now let us look at the format number 2. You can see the format 2, minutes of the meeting, the title, then the objective, date, location, scheduled time and actual time, uh, starting time, scheduled time or actual time, then attended by the people attending the meeting, agenda of the meeting, handouts or documentation shared, if you have shared any handouts or documentation, or if your authority has shared any handouts or documentation in the meeting, you have to mention it here. Then format number 2, in the same format, here you can actually write the points which are discussed, important points which are discussed at the meeting. So point number 1, 2, 3, 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, likewise. So you should actually describe here what was discussed in brief. Okay. We'll also take a look at useful language expressions which you can use to describe what happened in the meeting. Format number 3, it is more of a tabular format where you don't have to describe a lot of things. All you have to do is you have to enter the details as per the tables given in the format. Format number 4, name of the organization, purpose of meeting, date and time, chair, members present, then agenda, discussion, action, person responsible, closing time, etc. So this is also one of the formats that you can use. Now, it is possible that your institute is using the format which is not given here, which we have not discussed. It is possible and valid. And that is why you have to know which format is used by your institute, your organization, and accordingly you can prepare, you can draft your minutes. On the basis of the formats that we saw or we discussed, following things are mandatory or need to be included in the minutes: date and time of the meeting, names of the meeting participants and those unable to attend. You should also mention or include the names of those people who were unable to attend. Acceptance or corrections or amendments to the previous minutes. Now, what happens in the meeting is, before the meeting starts, generally people present in the meeting would go back and would refer to the previous minutes of the meeting to understand what had happened in the previous meeting or what kind of decisions were taken in the previous meeting. Based on that, they may continue that particular meeting. Decisions made about each agenda item. So as I told you and as we discussed while talking about the formats, that for each agenda, you have to take care of certain things. Action taken or agreed to be taken. What kind of action has already been taken or is agreed to be taken on that agenda? What are the next steps? Motions taken or rejected. Like, for example, a topic is discussed or debated at the meeting. So whether you could reach the conclusion at the end of the discussion in your meeting or not, that you have to mention here. Whether the motion taken or rejected. New business or task, if any. Then next meeting date and time. You have to decide the next meeting date and time and you have to mention it in the minutes. Now this is important. Useful language expressions. Now let's look at what kind of sentence structures or what kind of words or language phrases you can use to write your minutes. It was decided that, or it was decided to. So it was, for example, it was decided that the new policy will be implemented from the next month. So this is how you can put it. The issue of results was brought up, right? So if the meeting is regarding results and students' performance, then you can say the issue of results was brought up by the principal, for example. It was recommended that, now recommendation, if there is some issue, some problem discussed at the meeting, and if people have recommended several things, and at the end of the discussion, you reach a common conclusion, a unanimous conclusion, then you say it was recommended that, or it was agreed upon that. So after due discussion, all the people present in the meeting, or majority of the people present in the meeting, agree upon certain thing or a common point. That is what you have to mention here. It was resolved that 3 issues were discussed. The principal asked to see a copy of report. The responsibility or task was assigned to, and then the name of the person. So if you look at these language expressions carefully, you would understand the function of these language expressions. Some points to remember. Be objective. The minutes are objective because you are actually writing what happened in the meeting, what was discussed in the meeting. You are not sharing your personal opinion or your personal suggestions. Avoid personal observations, opinions, or suggestions. Write in the same tense throughout, mostly past tense. You need to use the past tense mostly because you are writing about the meeting which already have taken place, and you are writing about what was discussed in the meeting. Using passive voice is recommended. So you use passive voice. For example, when we looked at the useful language expressions, and if you remember it, the language expressions were like, it was recommended that, it was suggested, it was resolved, it was agreed upon, the task was assigned to. So as you can see, the passive voice is recommended because we are focusing on what happened in the meeting. And that's why, as I told you in the previous session, that if you want to focus on who did what, then you use active voice. But if you want to focus on what happened, then you use passive voice. Use formal language. It's a formal document. So you have to use formal language. That means you cannot use slang words, colloquial words, or the language, the kind of language that you use while speaking. It should be extremely, extremely formal. These are a couple of references which I used to prepare this presentation. And I hope you understood what we discussed in minutes of the meeting. And you will also try to apply, as I tell you, in every session, at the end of every session, that you need to apply what you learn through these sessions. So I hope you will apply what you have learned in this session as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.